I'm glad you chose this one because this really excited me, and I'm glad we finally got a trailer a couple weeks ago. This is a movie that is based off of a YouTube short from a couple years ago called The Blackening. This is directed by Tim Story, who did the first two Fantastic Four films, and I'm gonna let you take it away because I just love the humor in the trailer. And I don't really know much about the cast. There are a few people that were in the short that are also in the feature film. But tell me about The Blackening.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that trailer, and one of the things that has me excited about The Blackening is that trailer, because every time I see this trailer before a movie in the theater, it just kills. Every time the theater is cracking up, and I'm like, Tim's Story, very hit or miss. Some of his stuff is great, and some of it is pretty bad. But like, when I saw this trailer, I was like, I think this one might really knock it out of the park. And it feels like just a total old school throwback horror comedy, like kind of harkening back to the Scary Movie days. And I don't know if it's going to go full on spoof or if it's just going to be just straight up horror with funny. I'm not sure, but I have a good feeling about this one. And part of the reason I wanted to definitely include it on my list is because on June 15th, I'm actually doing a live episode of Piecing It Together on this at Maya Cinemas here in Las Vegas. And we're going to be right after the 7 p.m. showing of the film. We're going to be set up right there in the theater talking about the movie. I've got Miss Michelle from the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. I've got a filmmaker named Marlon Money Stevens and a DJ named Mikey VIP. And we're going to piece together The Blackening. And it's going to be a really fun time.
I love it. And Maya Cinemas is in North Las Vegas along Las Vegas Boulevard. That should be a great location for the podcast. And who are your guests again?
Miss Michelle from the Las Vegas Black Film Festival, a filmmaker named Marlon Money Stevens, and a DJ named Mikey VIP. And it's going to be a great time. This is actually one of 3 live podcasts I have scheduled at Maya over the summer. Sweet.
That sounds great. And you can look forward to it on all of the live stream platforms. This is also on my list. The Blackening is number 3. This is a film that comes out June 16th, just in time for Juneteenth. I didn't know what to think when it popped up in my YouTube suggested. In terms of the sketch, I'm like, hey, what is this? Is this a Key and Peele sketch? Is this an SNL sketch? Like, what? And then I just like after watching and rewatching it like 3 or 4 times, I was like, what is this? Like, and it sort of at the same time, I noticed that it was on the Wikipedia page for movies that were coming out this year. And at the time, there wasn't. This is going back to December, January, when I was putting together my movies that I was looking forward to for 2023, and there wasn't a trailer out yet. So I was like, oh my gosh, if the trailer looks anywhere as good as the sketch, and oftentimes they don't translate well to a full film, like a 5 or 10 minute short translating to a hour and a half movie. Sometimes, you lose something in translation, but the trailers for the film look just as funny as the sketch, and the conversations being had between characters, the horror comedy aspect of it, it looks absolutely hilarious. And we tend not to get as many big budget studio level comedies anymore, which is sort of a weird thing, because in a great era of streaming where we have so many prestige shows and so much quality programming on streaming, the one thing that seems to be falling off to the side of the content production is the mid-level studio comedy. Yeah. So the fact that we're getting a couple of studio comedies for this summer, and this one in particular, Blackening, which, other than Tim's Story, I didn't recognize a single name on the credits list. So the fact that we're getting new talent in a very unique voice. Yeah. This is not the typical horror comedy. I love the voice being expressed in The Blackening, so I'm glad it's on your list as well. It's my number 3 for June 2023.
I think it's going to be a fun time. And like you said, we are getting to a period of more comedies after it's been a pretty big dry spell for a while.